Let's not forget that. Shoo-dum bum 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 bum. Wadum bum bum bum. That camera angle's a bit funny, isn't it? Eh? Let's just adjust it ever so slightly. There we go. Like that. Sound on? Is the sound on? Yes, I presume so. Sound on. One thing corrected just here, which happens to be the... Look, you're looking at me in the right direction suddenly. Tricky job. That's because what I've done is simply turned around my phone so I'm actually looking at the camera rather than my face on there. That is tricky because I could very, very easily end up slipping up and the thing going off and me having no clue. Oh, there's another big problem with that as well, of course, and that is that should something go drastically wrong with the live stream and I have some sort of message telling me that I need to fix something quickly, I won't be able to see it. Oh dear, what do I do about that then? What do I do about that? Well, I guess the only thing I can do is probably flip it back around the other way right now and just accept that, unfortunately, as nice as it would be to have this done correctly, it's just not going to work. So, there we go. Let's go back to being wrong again. I'm surprisingly uncomfortable with doing a live stream without being able to monitor me being there. I mean, I can monitor myself there, but it's not the same. It's not the same because I'm looking at you there, not there as well. So forgive me for being awkward and just messing around here and just not getting straight on with it, but that's what happens sometimes. This is the world of being a live stream YouTube type person. That's me. Not only that, I'm now freshly monetized live stream YouTube type person, and that has meant I'm simply going to have to bore you with some adverts from time to time, and I'm not going to not put them on there. Come on. You don't earn a lot of money out of doing YouTube unless you have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So having 2,000 and a bit more, most of which came from doing live streams, it's the only thing I can do is just take advantage of it as and when I can, and anything else like that, like possibly quite soon getting into doing some merch. Oh yes, merchandise. Something that I've been wanting to do for such a long time. But the problem is with merchandise for someone like me is I was going to say I can't be bothered, but that's not really entirely it. The problem is just organising it. Now the thing, I do this kind of thing, it's a creative thing because I'm a creative kind of person, and creative kinds of people are not very good at organising things. They're just not. It just doesn't work. I struggle to organise just posting videos and putting thumbnails up. Actually making the things in the first place, different matter. Remembering to answer comments, not so easy. Putting descriptions in. For some reason, I lack the description skills needed to make sure that people will see these videos. I'm going to say I don't know why, but I do know why. I've just explained why. What a lovely big cup of tea this is. Anyway, so I have all of you to thank for this particular thing. Another leg up the ladder of doing exactly what you want, now being monetized. And that's happened because of reaching that 4,000 watch hours, the rolling watch hour thing over the past 12 months. And it's not been that easy because at the beginning of a year ago, I did quite well because of all these live streams that suddenly shot up in views, and then it just disappeared, and I kind of lost my way a bit. I lost motivation. So I went a good few months without really doing anything. And then I just thought, I want to come back and do more. And then I've come back to doing live streaming with the view of just enjoying doing it rather than being overly concerned about the numbers. Although I would like the numbers as well. And not only that, tonight, what feature can we have? I haven't even thought of that beforehand. It's just, I'm going to do a live stream at 9 o'clock. I've got some video editing to do. I'll do that until, 10 minutes before I started, and then think, all right, what am I actually going to even talk about? I don't know. How about proper English gentlemen and why you like them? And your favourite proper English gentleman. There we go. That's something. So let's adjust this ever so slightly and see who is here with me tonight. In this rather jolly and celebratory live stream. Looks like quite a lot, actually. Not loads necessarily here right now, but there's certainly been quite a few here. Casper, the video game player. I'm not sure if he's here or not, actually, because it says too late for a live stream. But it's the same time as last night. Oh, no, it wasn't. No, I did one a bit earlier. It will be practically in the morning. It'll be too late. I might join you. If you're reading this, I must be sleeping now. Right, so you're sleeping because I'm reading it. Nice one. And Carol C says, congratulations on becoming monetized, old fruit. Thank you very much, Carol. And again, it's down to people like you. Hello, Tinkle Grommets. Oh, yeah, that was me. Hello, Fruit Loop, says Peter P. Hello, you fruity loopy thing indeed. Oh, but that was a terribly awful pump that was. That was rather embarrassing, actually. And Jan, you've got that one, I'm afraid. You're going to wonder what that's all about. The Greenwood is here. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Mustard, and congratulations on your full partnership monetization. And again, thank you very much for actually all of your support with these live streams. You are live, says Casper, the video game player. I'm live, and I'm here with my orange hoodie on. My favourite hoodie, this one, actually. It's just bright and cheerful, a bit like what I try to be. Woohoo, pre-roll ads. Well, right, okay, it's a nice short one, though, isn't it? It doesn't really make too much difference, I don't think. If I find that those pre-roll ads on these live streams do entirely put people off, then I'll have to rethink it, but I think I've got to kickstart it somehow. Oh, wait, what did I read? The first thing I wrote. Funky and fruity, what is this? He's not mirrored. Oh, right. Yeah, well, I wasn't to start with, but I am now, aren't I? Shame, eh? What a shame. Right, anyway, let's not worry about that too much. Carol C says the Yubari King melon, a Japanese cantaloupe, is widely considered to be the most expensive fruit in the world, with a pair potentially fetching prices as high as $30,000 Australian or American, because they're cantaloupe. Well, why is that so expensive? Is it because it's an unbelievably rare fruit, or because it's just beyond really good, or is it because it's that bad that you need to be completely nuts to spend that kind of money on it in the first place? And it's a test. It's a test to see that, if there's a graph of how much money you have to how much brains you have to decide what to do with it. That's the cantaloupe. This particular Japanese, the Yubari King melon, is there to test your intelligence against your cash flow situation. Yeah. How are you? Well, I'm okay. I'm okay, Casper. At least I can see from a different angle of the room. You can't. Not really. Oh, well, it was nice as long as it lasted. What was? Oh, did you think I'd gone then? I definitely haven't gone. I'm still here. Oh, that's weird. This is strange actually, because when I started this live stream, it had 7 people liking it, and now it's only got 6. So what's going on there? Oh, I'm on top messages as well. Let's put them on all messages. I can't wait to get to that. Oh, that's a shame. Right. Lucky GJV, get a grip, mate. Absolute mince. What does that even mean? Nah. Nice. I've got YouTube Premium, says Scouse. And so, in other words, it doesn't really make any difference for you, does it? Whether there's adverts or not. But that means that you're paying for something and they have to give me a tiny bit of that. And because you're paying for it and you're watching me, that if you didn't watch me, hang on, what am I saying here? Right. If none of my viewers paid for the premium, I wouldn't get a cut of it. I think it's a very tiny cut anyway. Yeah, so Lucky JGV says, get a grip, mate, absolute mince, which out of context, that's the thing. I mean, it could be talking to somebody else, or it could be talking to me, but I don't know why I would say that. It's very, very difficult to understand. And as you can imagine, I am deeply confused because I don't know who you are. And, you know, you can stay and explain it. Please explain it, because absolute mince. What is absolute mince? Mince is mince, isn't it? It's mince. How can you call somebody mince? What does that mean? Like to drink Paul can, says Casper, the video game player. I don't know what that means. Right. I'm terrible at organising for myself, but managing and organising for someone else, boom, says the Greenwood. Yes, that's it. I suppose you have to suddenly, if it's easier to let yourself down than someone else. Is that really how it works? Live and fruity. Okay. Is that what you mean? Right. Because I said it's fruity, so that's the absolute mince thing. Okay. That'll do. That'll do for me. That'll do for me. All right. I'm going a bit Bruce Forcey there. Hello, says Emma Lemon. Hello to you. I think you're a person who reads books like Julia Donaldson books to children. I think you're right. Hang on. I think you're a person who reads books like Julia Donaldson books to children. When not Julia Donaldson, but when my little people were very little, I used to read to them every night, to the extent that they'd be pointing at the words, and then eventually, once they started to learn to speak, the first thing they were doing was reading themselves. And now there's absolutely no need for it, because they just read an awful lot. If you want people to read to them first. That's my advice, if you want, and assumption. And Dino Dad is here as well. Yes, good day, Mustard. Well done. Thank you very much, Dino Dad. Dino Dad being a long-term supporter of my channel, so always grateful. And a channel member as well. Oh, incidentally, I'll come back to that later. Scouse says, can't blame you, it's depressing being in England. Well, it is a bit of a depressing place, really. But I mean, it wouldn't be if it wasn't for the rain and the way that the country's just no longer proud of itself and doesn't do anything for itself and just expects something else, expects other people to do things. You know, I don't go from that. Going to end up going off on some sort of mad tangent where I depress myself and you as well. So let's not bother with that. One of the rarest phobias is right. Have you just picked this one up now? Iraqi butterophobia, which is the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. I've heard of that one before. Are we continuing this thing from yesterday where it's basically tell me something interesting, tell me something I don't know? Because I like that. I like that as a theme. And I didn't know what that was called, but I have heard of it. I mean, if you've got a fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth, surely you just wouldn't eat the stuff, would you? And why would you eat peanut butter if you have a fear of actually having it stick in your mouth? I mean, it's not the most pleasant experience, sure enough, but I can't imagine actually living in fear of it. That's how they make dogs look like they're talking, isn't it? For film, they get some dog-friendly peanut butter, because peanut butter is not really people-friendly, never mind dog-friendly, and they get some stuff. It's just the consistency. They stick it in the roof of the mouth, and they're like, and then you can just basically tell the dog what you tell your audience what the dog's saying. Great idea. The dog probably absolutely hates it and despises you for giving it such a task. I just found out that the greenwood is a mod for Paul. Well, yes, that's why the greenwood is in blue. That's what blue means. Blue's moderation, green is channel membership. Your fridge looked very organised, Tracy. Oh, I see. Organising fridges. Jan. So, Jan's comment was, where is this guy from? And I think that was the moment I did that very small fart and awarded it to Jan, who probably has... No, okay, still there, actually. That must have been quite an unusual experience. But it's tradition, and I can't break tradition just because it'll confuse somebody. Confusing people is actually a very good test of character, because if you don't mind being put in a situation where you're a bit confused, then it shows strength of character, doesn't it? Because you're not too concerned about whether you can figure it out. Like how many of you enjoy things you don't understand? Like foreign films. I always enjoyed a foreign film with subtitles. And then if you can't even bother to read the subtitles, then you just hear this stuff going on in a different language, and it just makes it kind of, well, obviously mysterious, but entertaining in such a way that you can't get from something that's designed to make you understand it. Gianni's from the UK. Yes, I am. Horatio Nelson asks, oh, right. Horatio Nelson, is that your favourite British gentleman, Scouse? Carol C says, oh, I had peanut butter on toast for breakfast today. Loved it. Yep, it's all right on toast. I'd enjoy some peanut butter on toast as well, but for two things. I try not to eat bread, and I try not to eat peanut butter. Although I did have some bread tonight, some of my own bread. It's a once a week treat. Brazil Alman. I'm from the country Niger in Africa. Welcome, Brazil. Welcome. Please stay. Thanks. Thanks, Casper. Even as a German, I can tell here. But where in England? Ah, right. I see. Well, Jan, I am from the northern part of it. Oh, it's called the north, but it's not as north as you can get. I am just east of Manchester in a place called Rochdale, and I'm just east of that, which is fortunate. I don't know where he is in Britain, but now, Casper, you do. I'll wait for you to catch up the comments. And for my band, I'm only like 10 minutes behind. That's not too bad. Well, actually less than that. 8 minutes behind with the comments. That I don't really like to be completely caught up with them. I like a little delay. I do. Right, yeah. The short pre-roll is fine. It was short enough not to be too distracting, and it was amusing to see it on there, says the Greenwood. It amused me too, because it means that I am already getting just a small amount of wedge or bunts or whatever you want to call it for doing what I was going to do anyway. Although, was I doing it so that I could get that far? Or am I doing it anyway? I'll let you decide that one. Good evening, Captain, and good people in chat, says Stratospherean. And good evening to you, Stratospherean. You are always very, very welcome here indeed. Hi, Strat. I was like Stratocaster. I checked the Greenwood channel. says Casper. I don't think you're a typical English gentleman, but what is? Well, I wasn't trying to nominate myself as a typical English gentleman, but actually, do you know what? I think in many ways I am a typical English gentleman, because I would call myself a gentleman rather than a lad. If I meet people and I'm referred to, I'd never like it when you get referred to as a lad, one of the lads, this kind of thing. Lads are basically grown-up children, as far as I see it, and they have grown-up children's habits, and they play. Nothing against anyone who likes to play video games or anything like that, but I don't. That's not my kind of thing. I'm not the most responsible person in the world, a long way from it, but I am kind and I'm courteous, and I like to improve myself, and that's not the mark of a lad. And I drink tea. You did, thank you. Yes, you did. Welcome, Joseph O'Hara. Play classical gas. Well, thank you, Joseph O'Hara. I've not played that one for years. And the tunes just popped into my head. That's the one. Not played that for probably about 15 years, and now I want to do. Thanks, Joseph O'Hara. I'm cold, says Emma Lemon. Think I'll have a nice hot bubbly bath. Surely. Baths are really very much a short-term solution to being cold, aren't they? Because you can be nice and warm in the bath. Unless you get yourself too hot, you're always going to be cold once you get back out. And maybe that's one of the reasons why many people spend so long in the bath. Is there a difference between an Englishman, Welshman, Scottish man, or Irishman, or, well, a British man? Yeah, there is. There is very much a difference. I mean, they're from different countries, aren't they? But yeah, I mean, let's broaden this out I mean, nobody's actually answered the question yet. So, fair enough. Yeah, let's just roll them all into one. In fact, let's just have who's your favourite gentleman? And I'll marks out of 10 for gentleman. Suggest a gentleman, and I will tell you what I think and give you a mark out of 10 for your suggestion or that particular gentleman. And of course, if they're scoring under 5, then they're definitely not a gentleman. I'm going to need another one of those in a minute. So hopefully you'll have some meat for me to chew on. Imperial Leather Lemon. I liked and subscribed, and I'll support the stream, says Scouse. Can't handle some of the ads YouTube used, though. All right. He called you a nonce, but it auto-corrected and to mince and deleted it or modded it. Oh, well, I want someone. Do you know what I really want is for anyone that wants to troll to come along and try and use a bit more imagination. You know, actually say something that catches me off guard. That's what I really want. That's what I enjoy. Something where I have to think quickly. So come on, trolls, do better. Joseph O'Hara, and one of my favourite guitar pieces. Who can tell me who wrote Classical Gas? Oddly enough, I've got a very clear mind tonight. The name of the composer just popped straight into my mind. It didn't always happen like that. Lucifer Morningstar. Hello, Captain. Hello, Lucifer Morningstar. 7 out of 10 for that name. Steve Kulg is here. Would like to have Steve Kulg. I'm from Poland, says Casper. I think you might have told me the other day, but I did actually forget. It's very difficult to remember everyone. Right. Pig and Cat are here. Pig and Cat shouldn't be here. Pig and Cat should be doing something else, I reckon. There's Is there a phobia? Oh, there is a phobia of ducks. What's that called? Could you tell me? Would you happen to know? I liked, thank you. Emil, no, it's not Mrs. Mustard. It's not. it's not going to be. So I've got to be careful what I say now then. Phobia of snails, flags, stickers, and clothing labels are here. Oh, right. Right. Okay. Let's look at some of these then. For having a fear of snails, I can understand that. It's the same kind of thing as not really liking slugs because they're kind of horrible, aren't they? They're just, you're afraid of where they've been. If you get one on you, it just makes you cringe, makes your skin crawl. If you end up with one in your kettle, you chuck your kettle away like I did. But flags and stickers and clothing labels, is that just a sensory thing? I guess it must be, mustn't it? Oh. A family of tomatoes were walking down the street, and the baby tomatoes started to lag behind. The papa turned around and said, "Ketchup." Oh, ooh. Ketchup. I'm going to give that one a 1 out of 10, Carol. That's horrendous, that one. You know, the joke's that bad that you get to where you can see where the punchline is, and you just, oh no, that's not the punchline, is it? It's almost depressing that's what it amounts to. No, I have no issue with that. Shark Cooking 21, hi friend, watching your video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much, Shark Cooking. Maybe Coconut S. Macadamia. If I am watching a foreign film, says the Greenwood, it has to be with subtitles. I can't watch a dubbed film as you lose the original voice. Well, I would agree with that, actually. I would agree with that, but that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I said. No, what I said was I'd happily watch a foreign film and not understand it. So I don't want dubbed over voices. Dubbed over voices aren't good anyway, are they? No, dubbed over voices are horrible. They're horrible. It's like, you know, it's almost like trying to be annoying. A deliberate attempt to annoy you. A deliberate attempt to annoy you is enough to make something memorable, and therefore it's something that you can sell, which is, as I believe, how advertising works. You annoy the people who are watching it, and rather than thinking, oh, I'm never going to buy that product, it just sticks in your mind. It sticks in your mind, and you know that this annoying thing is actually a solution to a problem that you have, and so it's more likely going to be the thing that you buy, and you buy it probably. The other thing as well, if you're annoyed by something, you'll tell people, won't you? As the phrase goes, if you're satisfied, you'll tell one person. If you're dissatisfied, you'll tell 100 people. But you're not dissatisfied with the product. You're dissatisfied with the advert. And therefore, you're going to tell everyone about how horrible the advert is, meaning that more people know about the product. That's how that works, I think. Because that would work, wouldn't it? That would work. How long do you leave your tea bag in the cup for? Normally, I'm the kind of person that would bung it in the cup, give it a quick squeeze, then fling it. But this time, I'm going to try not doing that. I'm going to leave it for 3 minutes and see if the tea is any nicer. Well, it couldn't be much nicer than that last one that I had. That was lovely. I had almond butter on toast tonight, says Greenwood. Before anyone asks, no, I did not taste of marzipan. Yeah, but it's not quite the same thing, is it? I mean, marzipan is like it's like they've taken almonds and extracted the worst possible flavour out of it they can, and then concentrated it, and then put it in a special cupboard somewhere, and then let the dog wee on it, and then process it into some sort of product. I'm the opposite, Tracy says, and if I have to focus on subtitles, I pay no attention to what's going on the screen, so I miss everything. Well, Paul Brady is here. I mean, you could say that about anywhere, really, and it's probably not advisable for me to read too much of that kind of thing out, is it? Loads of money, mustard lol. If only. Ah, there we go. Who got that? Olsty, cool. Congratulations on your first ever bit of mustard gas. Make me say wow, says wow. That's a bit of a one-trick pony, isn't it? Tell me more about yourself. Daz 27, Stephen 27. Hey man, I bet. I bet you whip that hair back when nailing hard. Yeah, whenever I have to do a bit of DIY, which I do more at work, it's, hammering nails in. There's always that risk of getting caught up and creating some sort of injury that I don't particularly want. I mean, who wants an injury? I don't. Do you? So why have I got it here? I don't know. You're making me think. Good man. Either Daz or Stephen, or both of you. What have you done with the family tonight, asks Carol C. I haven't done anything, but they are upstairs. Leaving me down here to do things by myself. Oh, no school in the morning tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about disturbing anyone either. Cool whip. Who made him go wow? Bow wow. Just the Gambian, greetings from Spain. And greetings from England to Just the Gambian. Do you have any siblings, asked Carol C. Now, are you asking me or somebody else? Thank you. Yes, thank you. Did you see Joseph Lloyd bought no, I didn't actually. Bought a V8 Audi, a 4.2. Wow. Which one's that then? Because they have that engine in quite a few cars. Jolly good engine. Is it, I'm going to take a guess that it's going to be, I'm going to say it's probably an A6. That would be the one I'd have. I like the Audi A6. I don't like the Audi A4 particularly, but the A6 is a really cool car. And the A8 is just a bit too much maintenance, I would have thought. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finding out about that, actually. I disagree, says Emma Lemon. A bath warms me up. Warms me up enough to stay in after in my pajamas and dressing gown under my electric blanket. R1XTA1, Jeremy Clarkson. Okay, what does that mean? The best live stream in the world. Does it mean that? Riddle Scunford says hello. It sounds like suicide. Make sure you're dry. I'm sure she knows what she's doing. Peter P is my favourite gentleman, says Emma Lemon. This idea is not really taken off, has it, particularly? I'm sure that Peter P is a wonderful gentleman, but it's not one that many people know of, is he? I'm going to have to give you an example or two, aren't I? Oh, here we go. The dog doing some things. I think she could. Right, there are a number of things that trigger the dog. One is fireworks, obviously. Another is people knocking on the door. Cars with loud exhausts. Wagons. The bins being put away. Next door, if they've run up the stairs. And now, activity going on upstairs that she doesn't quite understand. And probably nightmares as well. Dan Walker from Channel 5 and Classic FM, says Carol C. Ah, there we go. There's an answer. Dan Walker. The only thing is, I don't know who he is. I've heard the name Dan Walker, but I don't actually know who he is. So it's going to be impossible for me to say, oh yeah, Dan Walker is well worth like a 7 out of 10. So that's another flaw to this particular game. I know it's a flaw. I know it's a flaw, and that's probably why you're one step ahead of me. You think he's not going to figure this one out, is he? We're going to come up with my favourite gentleman is somebody that this man will have never heard of anyway. I can't remember who wrote Classical Gas, but Tommy Emmanuel, the Australian guitar player, does a cracking version of it. Mason Williams is the answer. Tommy Emmanuel version, that was that the 70s when he did that? There were a few pieces played on the classical guitar that are very famous, but they're not necessarily either the best pieces or the most difficult. Classical Gas being one of them, the theme from the Deer Hunter being another one, the old traditional tune called Romance, which is doodle 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 doodle. And then there's Leylander by Albeni. The one that goes that one. It's not that difficult to play, except for those punctuated chords where slap down like that. That can be a bit tricky. Anyway, what am I talking about this? I talk about it. I don't go off on too much of a tangent about that. And then get my guitar on. I don't want to do that. Not whilst it's this time of night. Oh, right. Gary Lineker. Gary Lineker. I'm going to give Gary Lineker as a mark out of 10, 4, I think. Farting, flatulence. I don't like woodlice, says Steecle. I bet no one can guess what flatulophobia is a phobia of. I bet nobody can do. Is it actually the fear of farts? Did you just poop in your panty? Asks Michael Albo. Well, I did. And as the PayPal has arrived, you'll be finding out soon just how good that actually is. Aditya Shelk, you look like Johnny, is that? Well, which Johnny is that, if that's what it is? Giles Brandreth, thank you, Peter P. That is a much more sensible and appropriate choice. Giles Brandreth, of course, not only an excellent man and dapper, but also incredibly smart when it comes to talking, putting sentences together. He's a wonderful gentleman. I'm going to give him a... he doesn't look like the typical gentleman, but for everything else that he has, I think he's a 9 out of 10. What a chap. One of my favourites. Peter P, have a pat on the back for that one. Carol C's laughing at something. I wonder what that could be. It wasn't me, because that was 10 minutes ago. Right. Well, I'm sure that the Greenwood and the rest of us here are quite familiar with the music of the Proclaimers, actually. I've had a few of theirs. Yes, yes. Prince of Wales, William, says Carol C. Yeah, he's okay. Do you know? I think maybe the trouble for me with this is I always consider a gentleman to be somebody older than what you are yourself, which maybe that's why you get called lads even when you're not one. Oh dear. I mean, William is he doesn't have any choice about being a gentleman, does he? He was born into having to be a gentleman, and that in some ways takes away some of the gentlemanness, because it's not like he just naturally is one. He's been made to be one. That makes him a bit difficult to grade. But however, he is. I mean, he has to be an 8, doesn't he? Surely. Gosh, there's an awful lot of noise going on upstairs tonight. I only use loose tea in a teapot. Steep for 3 minutes, 20 seconds. I'd like to do that as well, but you need to get a teapot, actually, because I haven't got a teapot. There's nothing more convenient, is there, than not having a teapot and just having to use bags. But one of the things about leaving it in the cup, in the bag, for a while, rather than squeezing it, is you've got a lot less chance of bursting that bag and giving yourself one of the most unpleasant experiences ever. And we all know what that is. Can we get the comment by that person deleted? Well, that's probably already happened, Casper, whatever that was. Oh, hang on. Was it that one? Is this OnlyFans? Says free the nips. If you're paying, then yeah, it can be exactly that. What song do you like the best, the most? Oh, we're talking about the Proclaimers. You really do like the Proclaimers, don't you? I can't remember any of the titles. I can only think of 500 Miles, and that is obviously the one that everybody could think of, isn't it? Is that because that's their best song, or is it because it's just such a good song that it makes most of the songs seem a bit insignificant? I don't like woodlice. I'm joining in. Not for sensible questions. For not sensible questions. Oh, right, I see. Well, right. Honestly, Casper, the non-sensible questions are often a lot more fun than the actual sensible questions. So we don't delete them. We just leave them there, and I see what I can do with them. Ah, right. And there we go. Greenwood says Mustard loves questions and comments that aren't sensible. It's true. It's true. Of course I do. Do you have a song, a list of songs by the... I know 83 songs. I didn't know that they did that many. Proclaimers always use taxis. What, did they? No, school tomorrow. Do you have to go to work? Well, yeah, I do. I've got to try and do something down there. I've really got to do something down there. Actually, I've got cars that need to be sold. I've got a yard full of stuff. I've got cars in the yard that need to go because I can't really actually do any business because I haven't got anywhere to put cars, and this is becoming an ongoing problem. So I've got to decide on what to do with the ones that have been hanging on. And the worst of all is Turbo Tom's car. If you know about that, it's just not good at all. It's not good having a car like that sat in the yard now for 2 years. It's not done me any favors whatsoever. It's done exactly the opposite, and his communications are just not very good. Not very good at all. Last year, about October, I was kind of given the push to do a bit of tidying up and get rid of some stuff. I thought, well, I've got to get the yard back to a state where the only things that are there are mine. that I can actually turn around and make some money on. The only thing that was actually I was able to get rid of was stuff that was mine, so I'm still left with stuff that isn't. Anyway, that sounds like I'm complaining, and I don't want to do that. Please. Sunshine on Leith. Well, okay, Casper, you are the person to come to whenever we have any questions about the Proclaimers then, I guess, because you do seem to know all about them. Is Dan Walker the answer to anything? Yeah, like, I'll tell you what the Dan Walker is the answer to. What's your name? If your name's Dan Walker. 44 is Lady Luck. Ah, right. What does Sheba look? Sheba's the cat. You're welcome to write songs down. Tommy Emanuel's 90s. Ah, right, I see. I would like to get a review on each song, says Casper, but what, from us, or from the Greenwood, or what? Emmanuel was a bit naughty. Yeah, but not that same Emmanuel, is it? That's really going back a long way, isn't it? It wasn't Emmanuel the very first person, really, to, well, not the first person, but for stuff like that to actually be done for consumption of others. Canada is a long way to bring frogs home from. Saying the Greenwood. It is if you're interested in moving frogs around. Gosh, there's some banging going on upstairs again. Dog's going to be set off any moment. Pendulous Knocking. Pendulous Knocking, the YouTube username that started off my idea for awarding anyone that's on my live stream a mark out of 10, is here. Pendulous Knocking. Hi, Captain. There's no smashing pistons tonight, so I will chat to you instead. I didn't know, actually. I didn't know that you was specifically a Smashing Pistons follower, actually. I mean, you don't really know where everybody comes from, do you? It's impossible. But thank you for being here. Mustard, do you have any siblings? Asks Carol C. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have quite a few of them. And it's all rather top secret. It's not really. But I am the oldest of a bunch of brothers. And also the best looking and quite definitely the most interesting, easygoing and funny of the lot. There you go. Put that in your sandwich. It's a pop group. Have you written down the names of the songs? Asks Casper. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking? Good evening, the Greenwood says, pendulocking, frogs across the Andes. Right, I see. Is that Poppy on the tank? Yes, it is Poppy on the tank. Poppy is having to stay down here with me again due to some slight behavioural problems. Poppy likes being on the fish tank, though. She's on there quite a lot. Actually, you get another 6 songs to listen to. I hope you enjoy them. I'm sure the Greenwood will. Sheba only bring home live. Oh, Sheba only brings home live frogs. She's a savage. They do like to munch their way through froggies, don't they? Oh, that's interesting. Right. Doesn't stop cats from being cute. That's the thing. Because when you're a cat owner, and I've not been one for quite a while, the whole look of them is a really lovely, cute, fluffy, idyllic, wonderful little creature. But you know just how vicious they are. You know, not just with your arm, when you actually tease them. When they're lying upside down, you just grab their belly like that, and then they just clamp onto you. Even the friendly ones do that. The reasonably feral cats will actually do that and properly have a good grip and pull some bits off of your arm. Yeah, I had one like that. She was properly vicious. I mean, like, she would actually just attack you and like draw blood everywhere, and then just you know, she didn't apologise or anything. Didn't like that cat very much. But yeah, I mean, does it at all spoil cats when you know just how vicious they can be with other things like small creatures? They have no mercy. They don't think, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. That was a bit cruel. I'm mean. I've just eaten this frog, and all it was doing was just hopping around. I don't even need any food. I've got a bowl full of cat food. I haven't bothered to eat them because, I don't really need it. They don't really seem to have much of a conscience, do they? I let them free afterwards. Ah, good point. Does she let you have the leg stick? Tracy, aren't we related to Prince William? Oh, no. Right, okay. Very distant, well, very distantly related, apparently. I see. Very good. Well, so am I. I mean, I don't even know how distant the relation is, but it's going to be there somewhere, isn't it? Pendulous Knocking says, Emma Lemon, you look like a princess to me. Oh, how nice. My kettle started screaming today. I think it's broken. Either that or you've inadvertently swapped your electric kettle for one of those whistling kettles that you put on the hob. And you did that and forgot all about it. Went to make a cup of tea and it started doing that. I mean, a normal kettle shouldn't squeal. That's really definitely something that it just, they're not designed to do. Okay, next dog's door now. Hear that? Life is too short for making cups of tea. No, it's not. How can it be? Do you not drink tea then, Steve? Do you drink something else instead? Presumably you're on the loo so you could use the toilet paper. Multitasking, what can I use to... what can... yeah, what can I use to write it on? I'm on the way. I'm on my way, says Steve Kulg. What to? Sunset over Leith. Gosh, we're really... oh, hang on. Wait a second. Oh, there we go. Oh, Greenwood, again. You're very lucky with this, aren't you? You keep on getting these. I hope you're storing them somewhere safe. JB says, should I keep my foreskin? And, I mean... Yeah, because you never know when it'll come in handy. Don't put it in a cupboard. Don't display it. Just keep it. Keep it in your back pocket of your jeans. Put it in your wallet. Or store it in the spice cupboard and just hope that it doesn't get mixed up with some dried chilies or something like that. Don't put it in the fridge because it will rehydrate. So you need to keep it somewhere cool and dry. So actually, come to think of it, your back pocket might not be a good thing, depending on what some of your habits are. I mean, if you drive a car that's got leather seats, we all know that leather seats can create sweat. So you don't want a bit of foreskin taking on that moisture whilst you drive. No, I think the best thing you can do is actually pop it into a jar with the spices and just label it accordingly, along with all the other things that you keep, like that. He hasn't asked yet if you have any writing implements, so I don't need to worry about that just yet. Yes, finally, a sensible question, says Peter. Yeah, absolutely. Smashing Pistons is here. How many custards does it take to change a light bulb? How many custards does it take to change a light bulb? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't think custard could change a light bulb. We'll find out in a second, no doubt. Or is that just a general question? I feel that JB might have the comment of the night. Yeah, we need more like that, don't we, really? Smashing plums. Hi, smashing plums. Sliding peanuts. Hi, Simon. You've made me want a custard cream. I've not had a custard cream for months. You should always want custard. In custard we trust. I want custard now. Is it an E minor? Is that what you're asking? Is that an E minor? Here's what an E minor. I always remember my grandfather's stop words. Stop shaking the ladder, you little shit. You can have a 7 out of 10 for that one. It might even be a 7.5, come to think of it. I really like that. How is everyone doing this weekend? Asks Simon. Had a good weekend? Had a good evening? Everybody should answer that question all at the same time. Captain, do you prefer having long hair or your beard? If you only had which one wins? That's a jolly good question, actually. Well, how would I be losing one or the other? Are you talking about a situation where it's a new law that people with hair aren't allowed to have beards and people with beards aren't allowed to have hair? What a stupid law. Who voted that in? What kind of maniac suggested that would be a good idea? And then what kind of maniacs said, yep, I'll go for that. Yep. That man over there, come on, make your mind up. You're not allowed to keep your beard if you're going to have your hair. Oh, really? Why? What difference does it make? Well, it's just the rule. Yeah, but what difference would it make to you? No difference. But just get rid of one of them right now. Or do I have to? Yes. Otherwise, you could be arrested and fined up to £500. Now, get rid of that beard now. That's Britain for you. That's Britain of the future. And when that actually happens, then I'll have to think about it a lot more seriously, won't I? I mean, really, could you think of a question that's even less likely to happen than that proposal? Yeah, and do you know what? Let them arrest me. Let them arrest me. I'll just argue my point. Phobia. Simon, I get you mixed up with Simone. You wouldn't. You wouldn't if you met them, because Simon's got a beard and he's got funny coloured hairs. And he goes, oh, hey, people have interwebs and stuff like that. You know, he's a typical northern man who's so proud of being northern that he actually pushes it. He pushes it right in your face. Don't you, Simon? I prefer my long hair over my beard, says Emma Lemon. Do you? Is it that long that you can have it over your beard? And Kit Singh, yo bro. Yo bro. Will you try to get your live tomorrow? Asks Dino Dad. If you're asking me, I have no intention of doing a live stream tomorrow. Oh, you're not, are you? You're asking Emma? Are you asking Emma? I think you're asking Emma. That would be a more serious question. I have cheese plants named Simon and Simone, says Emma Lemon. Yeah. So you have two, or is it just one plant that you kind of says two? Although I've got 24. Is that 24 likes? Gosh, wow. Don't go giving me another 3. Oh, and now we're up to an hour as well. I've been doing a live stream for an hour. Is there any point in me stopping just yet? There's not, is there? Does anybody want me to carry on for a bit longer? Would anybody like to live the live stream? Would anybody like to say something exciting? The letter S. Love from India, says Ankit Singh. Thank you very much. Safari 1999 is here. Yes. But not before 3 thumbs up, yes. That's more important. 3 thumbs up, yes. I've only got 2 available. Hello. You have gorgeous hair, Emma. I cannot see any beardiness. No. Jesus says, Vadibab Kampal. Jesus. You should have put an exclamation mark on there, then it would be taken much more seriously. Do that next time. In fact, do it again. Use 2 exclamation marks so we know that you're really properly serious. Is there a Civic 90s? Ah, right, I see. Aid Braid. Is there a Steve Berry's Big in the 90s tomorrow? There aren't going to be any more for the foreseeable future, I'm afraid. It's just impossible for us to do it. It's just impossible. We'll talk more about this at some other point, but it's just we can't fund it. We can't fund it. It costs too much time, too much money to do it, and we haven't stopped because we haven't got the offers or because the subscribers aren't coming in, but it's just I personally haven't got time to spend like a whole night editing and then the whole day doing videoing and stuff like this when I've got so many other things, and he's got a similar situation. So it's not completely shelved, but we may come back and do something different. We may end up doing something a bit more corporate, in fact. He's after your bank details. Right, well, anyone can have my bank details. Fun fact, says Brad W. Squirrels swim on their backs to keep their nuts dry. Yeah, they swim on their backs and they put their collection on their chest, don't they? Oh, Safari, I can't read that, and I have a little person upstairs that may be able to read it, but I'm not going to invite her downstairs because that would cause chaos. Is Poppy on guard duty? Those pesky fish keep trying to escape from prison. They do when I feed them. They look like they're going to be popping straight out of the little hole that I have in the top of there. I mean, potentially, if one of them took a run up, they could just pop out of the tank and find themselves on the floor, wriggling around like that, which wouldn't be good for them. They'd regret it very, very quickly, I reckon. Carol C says, mustard is related to a football team, maybe 5-a-side. Is that a joke? Is that a joke, Carol? Because if it is, I don't get it. Oh, look, I've got 30 likes now. Oh, wonderful. Not bad, really, being that there's not been any great number of people in here today. She plays them. Where are you from, says Furkan Yammak. I'm from I'm from a different part of the country to this, but I am in Rochdale. Rochdale in Great Britain. One of the most wonderful places. I've done that before. Going about how wonderful the place is when, of course, it isn't. Have you ever cooked a squirrel, Captain? Asks Pendulous Knocking. No, I haven't. Certainly not with full knowledge of it, or with any knowledge of it, come to think of it. I've cooked plenty of meat. It's questionable whether that was actually genuinely from the correct animal. So, I don't know. I mean, really what you do is, if you see a squirrel at the side of the road, what a waste. Just pick it up, take it home, take the bits off it you don't want to eat and make a pie. I would do that. I would do that. I probably will do that at some point. You have just made me choke on my sausage, says the Greenwood. I am not joking. I was eating a sausage when I read your Phobia. Peter P. Is that right? Is that a fear of phallic symbol shaped objects or actual sausages? Do you ever sit in the kitchen and pick which fish you're having for dinner? Asks Simon. Well, no. No, they're not big enough. And besides that, they are pets, and there's always that good possibility that one of them might be poisonous. Incidentally, Simon, have you still got your one fish? I remember it's like way over a year ago. You said, I've just got this one fish left and it just won't die or something. So do tell me. Okay. Raja Chand says, hi. Hello, Raja Chand. Joshua Faria. Have a great day. Best wishes and God bless of you. Thank you very much, Joshua. How are you? I'm from Pakistan, says Raja Chand. Yes, I'm fine. Didn't you come in yesterday? Was it you or... I'm sure I recognise that name. Dino Dad asks, is that tea in your coffee cup? Yes, it is. It's tea. I had this cup bought for me because I have a coffee machine, but of course it's way too big to go in the coffee machine because the spout thing would be up to about there. So my coffee machine at work, the only cup that fits underneath it is a small metal cup that I had given to me by a chap called Gareth, who pops around sometimes, and he gave me a metal cup saying, I bought you a metal cup because if you drop it, it won't smash. And he's right. It's absolutely right. It won't do. I mean, it could get bent if you run over it. But that's come in handy for exactly that. I haven't even dropped it, so I wouldn't even know. Maybe it's made of a special kind of metal that does actually shatter. An erect sausage is no laughing matter matron, says Peter P. And he's got a point. Why would anybody laugh at that? Hantavirus. Is it virus or virus? Hantavirus. How did you maintain your hair in this age? Well, that's an interesting question because I could read into that possibly what you mean or something else. In this age, in the 21st century, where you live near a city and there's pollution in the air everywhere, and how do you manage to keep your hair from not falling out and being poisoned? Well, either staying inside or staying away from the city would be the answer to that. Although I suspect what you actually mean is, how can I possibly be the age that I am, which of course is a number that you're not entirely sure about, and it still be sprouting out of my head okay? Well, I think the truth is, it does. Hair doesn't necessarily just stop working just because you get older than 30 or 25 or however old you happen to think I am. No, it just carries on. And mine is it's not showing any signs of falling out or going bald. It's just happy where it is. And a happy hair is obviously not going to cause you any problems. Certainly no sink blocking issues for me. Fab. If there's no time for coffee or tea, what are we even doing? That's a good question. If there's no time for it, I guess you could be running a marathon. Try and make yourself a cup of tea whilst running a marathon. It's impossible. You can't take the kettle with you and the cups and your milk and your coffee or tea. Even though, let's say, make it easier, okay? Let's say you have instant coffee and you don't have milk or sugar with it. So that's two things you don't have to worry about. It's still impossible. You cannot make yourself a cup of black coffee whilst running a marathon. You have to wait till you get home and then it's easy. You just let a fart out, Mustard. Of course I did. It happens quite a lot. I'm not proud of it, but I'm not shying away from it or pretending that I'm not doing it or any of those kind of things. I just let them out. I let them out and let you enjoy them. And I know that you do. I have a handful of sausage and a handful of mustard fart. Don't let me get them too mixed up, says the Greenwood. Cattle, says Steve Culk. Send a photo of it to Mr. Boaty. He likes that sort of pic. Might do that later on. Do you like Indian food? Asks Raja Munshi. I do. I am a very, very keen, spicy cooking person. I'm always cooking. That's why this channel is here, because I enjoy cooking so much. In fact, I posted a very short video today. It's only 39 seconds long of a time lapse of me making a curry and then just putting it on the table. No particular reason, but for those of you who are here that like my videos, I have a rather nice video already uploaded, ready to be set public, or at least members only first. I'm looking forward to doing that afterwards. After the live stream, lots of things like that for me to do. Custard creams our poo. Sounds like Star Malor to me. Sister Valak. Welcome, Sister Valak, if you're still here. CBK. Oh, bourbons are the biscuit king. Yeah, I like Garibaldi. CBK, if you're still here. Beards are the same type of hair that grows around your junk. Yeah, I know. Beards are not the same type of hair that's on your head. Beards are pubic hair on your face. I know. That's why I do it. Because what other opportunity would you have to show off like that? Now, consider this. If you're a lady, you can't go around showing your pubic hair off in public. But if you're a man, you can do. That's why being a man's so good. And if you're a man without a beard, you're missing such a trick. Plus, actually, maybe that's why the ladies like it. Because it's a fashionable thing, I know, but ladies like beards these days, whereas at one point they didn't. We have different ladies now to what we used to have. I mean, quite literally different people, aren't they? They're from one generation to another, they're a different set of people. But the ladies of today like men with beards. They're not really too concerned about how hygienic they are, whether they have things growing in them, whether they smell like sour milk. They just like the look of a beard. Think about that. Noah says, so good to see more gay dudes on the app. Sending love. Oh gosh, that's so nice. On the app though, which app's that? And don't think I'm gay just because I've got an orange top on. It depends, I'm allowed to wear whatever colour I like. Don't get me on welding, says Steve Culk. I won't. I'll do my own welding badly. If I want some welding done badly, I'll do it myself. Swedmum and Craft Swedmum Craft and Design. Good night from Sweden. That's good night before you've even said hello. What a shame. A book fell off my head. I only have my shelf to blame. That's short and sweet. I like that one. That's a nice one. I think that one's that's a 5 out of 10. A 5 out of 10, because that's still in the slightly bad joke category, but it's about as good as a bad joke can get. I don't know what you're aiming for tonight, Carol, whether it's good jokes or bad jokes. Do tell me, because then, if you do too many good jokes when you're trying to do bad jokes, then you're really not succeeding, are you? And I wouldn't want that to happen. Sister Valak. Brainstormer, where did you come from and where did you go? Cotton Eye Joe. Kathmandu? Oh, where did you go from Kathmandu? Oh, did you come from Kathmandu? Now, I'm reading the question properly now, aren't I? I've never been to Kathmandu, or indeed Nepal, but I'd like to do. Hendrik Larsson for president, says Steve Culk. Peter Alexandru Konstantin. The dog in the background is very commanding. It is. The dog in the background it's definitely looking at you, isn't it? It's not like it's just there. It's watching the whole live stream and taking notes, and also giving advice into my earpiece as we continue with this subtly. You wanted some interesting stuff, said Noah. Yeah, what did you said before? Ah, right. Okay, well, anything's interesting to me. B, but yeah, I am lol. Okay, brainstormer. Hi, new metal Viking Johnny Crook is here. Hello, Johnny Crook. Did you know the chap who invented throat lozenges died last week and was buried? There was no coffin at his funeral. Ah. Nice joke. I think that's a 5 out of 10 as well, because it's just kind of a good joke whilst being a not good joke. So well done, Johnny. Well done indeed. Hello, X-Man. X-Man. That means that you're something else now. Which country are you from? This country. Now, how many people would listen to me talk and not really know where I'm from? I would have thought I was definitely very, very British, but maybe not. 30 likes, eggnog song. Says Peter P. Oh, I don't think I can do that one again. No. I'm not going to do the eggnog song tonight. No, it's too late. It's too late for doing eggnog song. You looters. Oh gosh, Dino Dad, well done. I don't know why oh yes I do, because I had some bread. That's why. Dino Dad, welcome to methane heaven. British looted $70 trillion from India. Yeah, well, let's not right, I've got to say, let's not talk about that. But I'm not going to say let's not talk about it. Let's just understand that I'm not going to talk about it. Maybe Super Simon from Smashing Pistons could help you with the big in the 90s editing and filming. Do you reckon? Maybe my editing and filming is exactly what I want it to be. Maybe. That's a real shame. It is a shame, but like I said, it's. Wouldn't it be fabulous actually to just leave it at that, and then Steve and I will go on to do something else, and then leave that at that, and so you have these 26 episodes as far as we got. Then, just like Faulty Towers, just leave people wanting more, rather than having everyone fed up with you and wishing you'd stop and do something else. No spamming or repeating, X-Man. Oh dear, okay. Yes. Okay, right. Well, now, X-Man, I'm going to answer this question for you right now. Who do you want to return? Who do you want to return the money back to India? I can guarantee nobody on this live stream has got 40 million, in fact, 40 trillion to give. And it's really not up to us here on this live stream to do anything about it. We can't help, I'm afraid. I don't think Mustard did any India looting. That's just true enough, yeah. I've not even been to India. And if I did go to India, I wouldn't do any looting. You're complaining to the wrong person. I could help with the editing and stuff, of course, but there would be a small fee. Laughs, smashing poodles. I've just got a hole in one. Golf on the Xbox. Excellent. Bovines. I am now in my really hot bath, says Emma Lemon. Well, congratulations. I hope it's fun. And try not to fart in the bath. Oh. Not a good idea, actually. If you get an itchy eye, you shouldn't scratch it, but it's very difficult not to do. You remind me so much of Christian Bale, says Peter Alexandra Constantin. That's a Petri. Christian Bale. Struggling to think of what he does look like, actually. Yeah, right. Okay. London is falling. Indians and Pakistani and Bangladesh have captured your London property. Okay. Well, let's leave it at that then. You don't run a marathon, you eat a marathon. And they're called Snickers now, says Simon. That is true. That is true. We all know that marathon was a much better name for that particularly nice chocolate bar with peanuts in it. But to streamline, of course, it became Snickers because that's what it was called everywhere else. But, you know, does it really matter? Why couldn't we have kept it being called marathon? I mean, it wouldn't have guaranteed I would have bought any. And in fact, trying to think, the last time I bought a marathon bar, to use its proper name, will be maybe a very long time ago. Because the likes of Lidl and Aldi will do their own versions of these things and do it for a lot less. And there's no point in paying a lot of money for something that actually isn't any good for you anyway. Is there? Actually, that's a super long comment there. I'll keep thinking I'm really far behind with the comments, but I'm not. I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't eat my Snickers. I wear them. Oh gosh. Now you've run a bath. Have you ever tried running a Snickers though, Simon? I have. It was a disaster. Bath time live. I wouldn't. Oh, Steve, no, that's not appropriate. Mustard, have you ever had your cholesterol checked? No, I haven't. I had my blood pressure checked a few years back, and it was getting a bit high, and then I went back again, and it was all right. Would it help my channel if I did? Says Emma Lemon. Didn't do Boaty's channel any harm, I guess. No, well, he's a lot more experimental with these kind of things, isn't he? I can't run because part of my is broken. Oh, part of me is broken. I thought you'd say the bit that the missing word's broken then. Oh, really, Steve? Right. I've just suggested that you do that. Okay. Big bubbles, no troubles. I don't like beards, says Emma Lemon. Never, ever, even so much as smooched a man with a beard. I don't fancy tasting the remains of your breakfast. Well, in that case, you don't know what you're missing. If you expect me to shave, I expect you to do the same. Cotton Eye Joe's from Kentucky or Alabama. I like to mix up my jokes to keep you on your toes, says Carol C. You certainly do. You certainly do. And also, it does keep me on my toes because I've been wondering all this time whether what you're actually aiming for, whether you're aiming for good jokes, bad jokes, or just to get me to read out some good ones. I spelt lamb wrong. No crumbs, nice and smooth, please. I used to go out with a girl from what's that? The alpaca society until she dumped me. Her loss. I'm sorry, alopecia. I used to go out with a girl from the alopecia society until she dumped me. Her loss. I had to read that twice actually before I saw the joke there. Well done. That only works if you happen to be have the particularly correct regional accent, though, doesn't it? If you read that, I don't pronounce the word hair as her, so that's why it doesn't really work for me. Has anybody noticed that Boaty has given up farting? He's given up farting as well. Is there anything he's still doing? He must have fixed the wine fridge. Is Boaty going to the yard tomorrow? No, it's too cold for him. That's really it. Once it's cold, he said this, and I don't blame him. And I can't have a caravan in the yard just for a man to turn up once a week and complain about it being in the mud. So no, it's too cold, and that's really it. And yeah, I don't blame him. Pavel Sokoninski waves and says hi. Can't or can't. Hello, are you a warlock? Yes, I am. I am the Lock of War, and you must, like the live stream, to be released back to your normal duties. So go ahead. More Russian writing. More. What he said, you tell him. Something to do with drones. New Metal Viking. Says a man without a beard is basically a woman. And we all know, because I mean, I actually, that question before of, who was it who asked me this? No, it's Simon, wasn't it? If you had to, was it Simon? Oh, no, it was somebody else, wasn't it? I'm sorry, I can't remember who asks which questions. If you had to get rid of one, would it be the hair or the beard? Johnny did exactly that, because he had hair, and then that fell out, so he grew a beard. But that's not going to happen with me, is it? Oh, right. I tell you what makes my blood boil. Crematoriums. Canty, I am under a witch's love spell. Mr. Warlock, could you lift that curse on me? Well, I just did, didn't I? I just did. I'll chuck a bunch of random numbers and letters at you afterwards as well, and we'll see if that lifts it even further. There's only one thing to say to me at a time like this, says Splendid Simon, and that is, and that thing is what I'm going to say now. At this point in time, that thing I'm going to say is, and let me play it clear, I'm saying that this is by. Very, very well done, Simon. Oh no. Right, news just in. Carol C's just alerted me to this. Breaking news, the M25 is blocked after a lorry shed its load of brightly coloured writing and paper envelopes. Police say traffic is pretty stationary. Now, what do we think of that joke? Because obviously the word stationary sounds almost exactly the same, but it's written differently. So I'm going to have to just give that one 2 out of 10, I think. Congratulations on what is basically a terrible joke. Night, Simon. Night from me as well. Steve's asleep with 4 hot water bottles. I've only just got the beard joke, says Steecock. Trump deport you. Gazatrite says the NHS sent me a container of tiny dimensions so I could send them a stool sample. Couldn't really bring myself to collect it on spec. I guess I need a medical scare to sharpen my self-care. Maybe. Man of many keys and a piano. Yes, those kind of keys. I shaved my head, I'm not bald, says Johnny Crook. Well, of course you shave your head. That's because you took seriously that choice offered to you, didn't you? You heard about this, that you can't, if you live in Sheffield, you're no longer allowed to have a hair on your head. So, and if you've got a beard, you thought, oh, what, really? Oh. And rather than just saying, no, I'm going to keep both, and knowing that they can't really do anything about it, they're not going to come around your house at night time and break in and cut your hair off while you're asleep. No, because you'd wake up, wouldn't you? You just thought, oh, best get rid of it then. Bloody hell. Johnny Smith has found a proper barn find this week, says Barry Scrotter. Has he? Oh yes, of course, the barn find thing where, how do you find something in a barn when you know it's there already? I mean, it can happen, I suppose, if you happen to be fortunate enough to have that money lying around to just go and buy a farm off of someone, part of a deceased estate or something like that, and you don't really know what you're getting. That's a barn find. When you move in, you bring along your cutlery and your special mug and your electric blanket, and you settle in. And one day when you run out of tea bags and the shop's closed, you go exploring your barn, and you think, wow, God, look at that. There's an old Fiat X19 in there. That's a barn find. Doesn't usually happen like that, though, does it? Hi, Barry. If you're nice enough on Sunday, I'll let you touch my head and beard. You don't normally ask me to be nice to do that. Mandingo. My hair can no longer cover... Oh, my hair can no longer cover my head. I guess the world must suffer. Oh, that's very nice of you, actually, to say that basically the suffering, rather than, just put up with it. Put up with it. It's my head. If I want to have no hair on it, that's up to me. You want to get yourself offended by something real. Thank you, Mr. Warlock. I feel better now, says Canty. You're getting your balls mixed up. I'm bald and can't be asked to grow a beard long enough to comb over. Oh, imagine that one. Combed right. Why don't you just get yourself a wig or a hat? If you wear a hat, then nobody can tell whether you're bald unless you take it off, if you're bothered. I mean, you might not be bothered. I mean, many men are actually quite proud to be bald. But if you're not, and you'd wish you weren't, just buy a hat. Nobody's going to ask you, are you bald under that hat? No, because we just don't really tend to be that rude about these kind of things. There, another piece of advice straight from the mustard. Mustard, that's me. I've succumbed to the same form of form filling out nightmare closely managed by those I work for, so I've subsequently had this week off. Well, enjoy your week off, Barry. I did get these comments a bit mixed up there. Usman Hussein, England? Yes, Usman Hussein. That's where I am. Is a deceased? Right. Is a deceased estate a hearse? Good question. Good question. Now, this week, Johnny actually needed a digger to get the car out. Serious. Never known it, but this week's a proper barn find. That's all he does on his program, though, isn't it? It's just attend barn finds. Bonjour, you op. Thank you. Comment a la boost. Thank you for that. I can't tie my beard above my head. Well, record it. Oh, I can tie my beard above my head. We'll record it next week. You do that, Johnny. You do that. Kermigs, Captain Mustard saved my cat from a coyote, and he's a great chat, a great guy chat. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Anything for your cat. Well, we're getting comments going missing there. Mustard's going blind or needs a bigger phone. Because I got things in the wrong order there. Not all England is small. Not all of England, just a small part of it. Johnny is a lucky man. What? Because he does barn find videos? Is that all it takes to be lucky? I guess he could be lucky that he happens to find them so regularly. Well, he doesn't find them himself anyway, does he? He just has somebody like call him up and say, "Oh, I found a car. Would you like to pop along, Johnny?" Or is it just like email? Right. Email at the email address at the end of the video. If you found a car in your own property that you didn't realise were there, why not get in contact with me, Johnny the Car Pervert? Although I'm not called that any longer because it sounded weird. I didn't realise I was in charge of Mustard's devices. Go-karting on Thursday with the gentlemen should be fun, says Barry Scrotter. Yes. I've never done go-karting. I've done that other thing, the less grown-up version of go-karting. Driving into walls, that's it. I am truly offended, says Can T. What was that about? Hey Greenwood, you are a cool man. How many languages can you speak? Ah, that's an interesting question, isn't it? How many languages can you speak? And we got Alex's Assets is here again. There's that bloke again. Children are quiet. Yes, they're a lot quieter than normal because they're not in the same room as me. Now, yesterday, I said they could be in here with me. And I always end up regretting it because I said, I don't mind you interrupting a bit. You can interact a bit, but don't take over. Don't take over. But they always do. They just get carried away. Oh, by the way, I've been thinking about this 24-hour live stream thing again. How cool an idea is it? But after an hour and a half of just sitting here talking and reading comments out and stuff like that, I start to get a bit of a sore throat. So I'd have to think of something, if I was to actually be here for a full 24 hours, I would really, really have to work up to it. Because, I don't mind if the next day I can't talk. If I've got loads of video stuff to sort out and edit rather than actually make, then it wouldn't matter if the next day I couldn't talk, would it? But I'm really starting to think about it quite seriously because it will be such a big challenge to do it. It's not the amount of time, it's doing it throughout the night and things like that, and having to involve taking you to the toilet with me. Although I wouldn't, I'd just tell you that's what I was doing and go off and do it. That could be acceptable, surely. So, yeah, just to let you know, I am thinking about it quite seriously. Croissant. 'Twas the dad's army joke. Story told in an empty barn. There was nothing in it. I'm cheating with Google Translate, admits the Greenwood, but I can speak English and a little Scottish Gaelic. Barry's Grotta says, yes, I mean the contacts and the car is invited to find what makes him lucky. Yes, I thought so. Oh, P. Ness, you look an orange. Well, I will do, won't I? This is definitely orange, and you know your colours properly, so well done. Pat on back. I'm off to see you next Sunday. Yo, yes, you are, aren't you? Yes, you are. Next Sunday, a week from today, little meetup organised. A long overdue meetup. I think the only people that really know about it are actually my group, and I need to spread it across my other contacts on Facebook, and possibly even do some sort of announcement on YouTube as well, because there will be plenty of people that don't really use Facebook. But yeah, next Sunday, meetup near Rochdale, an official Project Nigel meetup. Very much looking forward to it. Hope it doesn't rain. It probably will do. Be nice to Boaty tonight, says Barry Scrotter. Pop Kettle on, says Usman Hussein. I actually feel like I could do with that, really. I could do with another drink now. Oh, no pharmaceutical references, please. I must have missed that one. Sorry, Barry. It was all light-hearted, I'm sure. Gaelic, how cool is that, my man, you rock, says Canty. You'll need Red Bull and lots of written things down and drawing. No, I don't. I wouldn't. I would not go near energy drinks. It would all be done just naturally. I'd have myself a proper good night's sleep. Wake up late, depending on what time I'm starting. Because that's the other thing. I have certain times of day where I'm much more awake than other times. And throughout the night, I mean, I could do it, but I'd have to speak very quietly, wouldn't I? It'd be the afternoon. If I was to start at, say, 12 o'clock at night, I think I'd really be struggling by the afternoon. So I reckon it would be better off, if I do it, to do the kind of thing where I have a lie-in and start soon after that, whatever that time might be. So I'm gonna have a think about it and figure this out. Not that I expect everyone to be here. I'll do it just for myself. I'll do it. I'll just do a live stream where I just talk to myself without anybody here at all. How interesting would that be? Well, not interesting, but sort of different at least. I put the kettle on. It didn't suit me, says the guys on the track. That's because it doesn't fit. That's why. You need to get you need a kettle tailor so that it works out better. Carol C says, do a crossword with the help of the live stream. That's actually a rather good idea, that. It's a jolly good idea, in fact. Roger Botti would have been great for a 24-hour live stream, says Barry Scrotter. Yeah, except that, of course, that would mean having to have enough data to keep it going. And then I'd need the electricity in the place. And no, I definitely do not regret in the slightest bit the caravan being moved out of the yard. I mean, that was the biggest thing in the yard, wasn't it? The biggest bit of space being consumed. And I'm still not where I need to be. I talked about this before. I put the kettle on as well. It was boiling. I had to take it off, says Alex's Assets. Yes, good advice to yourself there. Just sit there in front of a live stream and play guitar for a few hours. That would probably be nice in the late night. Well, Emma, that probably would be, actually. It would be that kind of thing. There'd be bits of that kind of thing going on. And that's what my newest video's kind of about. Not my guitar, but I made a video yesterday. It's going to be called How I Make the Music for My Videos. For anyone, because obviously on this channel, it's kind of a bit like anything goes, really. I just edit, if I think of an idea, I think I'll just make a video of that. So I quite liked making that one, and I quite liked editing it. It turned out to be quite a bit longer than I was expecting. My father was a great magician. He disappeared years back and never came back, says Canty. Oh, the real Bank of Kev. Or the Band of Kev, rather. The real Bandakev, I think that says, the real Bandakev. Your blouse is quite nice, mate. Oh, thank you, Kev. How nice of you. How nice of you to say. I wonder what yours is like. I bet yours has got even more colour to it, hasn't it? I bet you suit yours more than I suit mine. I mean, no one's ever complimented me on it before. They just assume it's a hoodie because it's it's got a hood and it's not got the kind of usual blousey things that we would expect, like buttons, and it's got these string things. So I'm quite impressed by your observational skills there, Band of Kev. Thank you. That chap from last night will be happy his jacket's not in the fish tank. Well, it's not here, is it? But actually, I did move the jacket because you can see more of the fish tank now than what you could do last night. I should have done that last night. I should have just given in and just done the right thing, shouldn't I? Yeah, a 24-hour live stream would have to be planned a little. Just storyboard each hour without different activities. Yeah, it would have to be at least that. But if you get storyboarding each hour, yeah, I'd have to really be. I'd have to be in a very, very creative mood that night to actually spend an hour just on one particular thing. Because it could. Oh, I mean, the worst thing would be, imagine doing it and I just thought, oh, I hate doing this. After 3 hours, though, I'm just so knackered and I just wish I hadn't come up with the idea. Oh, all right. Trace, you have invented a new kind of decongestant yank. I've decided to sell my vacuum cleaner as it was just collecting dust, says Dino Dad, ruining his own joke. I'm going to give you a 4 out of 10 for that joke, if we use the correct word. I'm in Flamborough for a little while, for a little break, not my leg, next weekend, so I can't do the meetup. Okay, guys, that's a shame. Abia Maya More, Aya, thanks for being here. A good evening, Mustard, and welcome everyone, says Andrew Buttigieg. Good evening to you, Andrew Buttigieg. Dixie Normus. Hey, how do I eat food with a spoon? Well, you probably find the spoon to be the most suitable thing for eating with. I said last night I loved Boaty. I loved Boaty's sort of, he looked a fence and going to squeeze him tightly tonight, a little bit of wheat comes out. You could go driving. You could go for a drive during the 24-hour thing. Yep. I could do. Imagine driving for 24 hours, though. I mean, that wouldn't be responsible, would it? You're okay in the kitchen. You can get as tired as you like, unless you fall over onto the fish tank. Nobody's going to get hurt. But driving whilst really tired? I can't believe it's vegan, Buttigieg. I forgot all that stuff, actually. I can't believe it's Buttigieg. Emma already did a crossword thing. Oh, yes. Yeah, she did, didn't she? He's a strange fellow we can't stop watching. And I assume you mean Boaty there, not me. Yes, I did the crossword first thing I did, didn't I? The Lemonator is in the building. I think he looks like an East End gangster. Who? Boaty or me? I always end up really... Half the assumption is if people are talking on my live stream, I think they might be talking about somebody else. Usually they are. Dirty Den. And a crossword was not said then. A gay dirty den. Yeah. Hello, he is gay. Well, I said all along, didn't I? I knew he was, because he told me. Right from the start. Right from the very start. Straight after me saying to him, you don't have to look like Nigel Farage. He went, yeah, really? He did that. He did his Sid James laugh. And I said, and I can tell you're gay. I don't normally say that to gay men, but to him I thought, he's hiding it. I said, you're gay, aren't you, mate? I don't mind. He went, yeah, I am. But don't tell anyone. I said, right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll just say that I think you're about 20% gay. And he went, yeah, that'd work, wouldn't it? So that's where that came from. So don't be too surprised when you see his boyfriend quite soon. And I know that's probably what he's doing tomorrow. Right. ERFGTDSF SDF. There's a dog behind you watching. Don't make any fast moves. I think you need a more slip off the tongue kind of username. Do you drive naked? Asks Mr. Pollard. No, I don't actually. I mean, I should do it at some point. It's irresponsible of me not to do that as a challenge, isn't it? You need to get your pants off and drive safely. I mean, if you're in a particularly warm environment, then taking your pants off would actually do the job. 10-minute warning. that's a bit like saying, no, you've got to stop now. Bolty's on his way. Stop doing what you're doing. And I was just about to go anyway. But I got carried away. I was going to stop. Actually, I was going to stop at just over an hour originally. But I'll go to an hour and a half. I thought, well, how about an hour and 45 minutes instead? He's starting his new gay life in March, says Emma. So any interested females only have a couple of weeks left to apply. Yeah, exactly that. Bolty's a pirate. He sells silver cheaper than tobacco. I might come up to the meat, Mustard. Well, you're welcome here, Barry Scrotter. You know that. And I know you're not really called Barry Scrotter, obviously. But we call you Barry Scrotter because that's your username. Mustard looks like my Allegro tonight. Ah, that's a nice thing, isn't it? Someone should send Boatsy a bright, flowery shirt made from the 70s curtains. Oh, you wouldn't have to stick to the hour for a certain activity. 24-hour stream just means you'd have the plan to fall back on if things go slow. You don't run out of ideas because you're tired. Good point. Does Boaty do magic tricks? Sort of. He makes wine and women disappear. Yeah, very good. Very good. Boaty could deliver singing. Don't know. Okay, right. Let's finish up here then. Let's finish up. Yeah, to be honest, I am probably a bit worn out by now anyway. So, right. Yeah. Johnny Smith and yet another overpriced mini on a pallet. Right. Okay, we should have an live stream off. See who stays here the longest, goes over to battles. Oh, I'm not doing competitive stuff like that. Although if I did do a 24-hour live stream, our paths would cross and we'd end up peeing on each other's feet, wouldn't we? Right, so that's it. That's where I'm stopping tonight. Thank you super much. Thank you super loads for joining me on this, my first monetized live stream. I'll probably get about 4 pence. Thank you very much. Special thank you to anyone who's become a channel member tonight, which they haven't. Thank you, super big thank you to the Greenwood for all the moderation. And thank you to anyone who's liked the live stream and anyone that had, well, just commented and just been here. So there we go. Right. Okay. Bye. Bye. Bye.